Hi, welcome back to Bounce Forward with me, Tiff Hall. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders past and present. Lee contacted me with a great question. So I think there's another fake TikTok trend going around, Tiff, but I'd love your take on it. The adrenal mocktail. It's supposed to help boost your cortisol levels and balance your hormones, but do you think it'll actually work? Okay, so there's always a trend. At the moment, it's ballet bodies and yoga boobs, and I just hate these trends, the fashion of bodies and physicality and all of these nutrition trends as well and these weird drinks. I mean, we're just at the point where people were snorting and drinking raw protein powder without any liquid. I mean, seriously, we've got to stop. We've got to stop and we've got to really look at what is it that this trend is telling us to do and what are the benefits and is it coming from a credible source? So what's in the mocktail? I had a look into this. Fresh citrus juice, coconut water, sea salt, and you can opt to add in cream of tartar or coconut cream or milk. Now, how does it work? The adrenal cocktail focuses on 3 nutrients, your vitamin C, sodium, and potassium, and these are key to maintaining your adrenal health. And this trio also helps maintain hormone stability, proper hydration, and electrolyte balance, okay? But I don't know. The ingredients in the cocktail have a lot of glucose in them. Or sugar. So it's going to give you a lot of calories. And as much as it's definitely going to give you some, hydration and boost of electrolytes, you got to think, am I really out of whack with my cortisol? Okay, so I had a look at each ingredient here. The orange juice adds glucose and vitamin C to support immune system and acts as an antioxidant to help protect your adrenals against oxidative stress, which is great. That alone, orange juice is fantastic. You can put aloe vera in there for its anti-inflammatory properties, and the sea salt. Your body needs electrolytes and salts to stay balanced. So definitely if you're stressed out of your brain, having more electrolytes is going to help balance things out. And basically, this cocktail aims to replenish the body's adrenal glands. And because of this, it's going to counter fatigue and help you have more energy. But you've got to first look at whether your adrenal glands are out of whack, okay? What are the signs? So the signs that they're out of whack are extreme fatigue, weight loss or decreased appetite, darkening of your skin, low blood pressure, even fainting, salt cravings, low blood sugar, nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain. Okay, now these are pretty hardcore. So I don't think anyone's really got these symptoms having the cortisol cocktail. And I think that you really have to say, well, what's the point? Like I see there's a huge trend at the moment of taking electrolytes and people aren't actually even training hard enough to even need the electrolytes, right? So they're just putting stuff in their bodies that their bodies don't need. And one of the best things was ever said to me was by a dietitian I was seeing, and I was wanting to take a lot of supplements. And they're like, everything you put in your body has to work hard to process and deal with. So the more supplements you put in your body, the harder your body is actually working, and that will contribute to your fatigue rather than boosting your energy levels. So pull back on the supplements, pull back on anything unnecessary in your body, and your body will actually work to have energy more efficiently. And that just made a whole lot of sense to me. So always ask yourself, am I actually in a deficit, or am I missing vitamin B before I go get vitamin B shots? Am my adrenals really out of whack before I go taking a cortisol mocktail? I think you need to ask yourself that question and then look at ways you can manage stress more effectively, because chronic stress is the primary cause of adrenal dysfunction. So for me, that's meditation, bit of mindfulness, deep breathing exercises I love, and you've heard me do on this podcast, yoga, and then, little things like setting boundaries, saying no to excessive commitments, or prioritizing self-care. Super important. And spending time in nature, walking in green spaces is proven to lower stress hormones and improve your mood. After you do all of those things to manage stress, you can look at optimizing your nutrition to deal with and support the adrenal recovery. And those things are healthy fats, avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oils, complex carbohydrates, sweet potato and quinoa and oats, and then your protein, your fish, your poultry, your eggs, your beans, your legumes. And those things are going to really increase your vitamin C, your magnesium, B vitamins, and zinc. I'm a girl that's not about the supplements, but I'm about eating the food to get the goods, okay? And so you're going to get zinc found in pumpkin seeds, in beef, in chickpeas, right? You're going to get magnesium found in spinach and almonds and dark chocolate, and vitamin C in all of your oranges, kiwis, strawberries, you're naturally going to get it, and it's going to reduce that cortisol production. And then if you stay hydrated, which is really important for the adrenal glands, and you can put a pinch of salt in your water, you're really set. In my opinion, there are other things that you can do to stress out your adrenal glands. I'll just mention quickly: not getting enough sleep, all right? Not limiting blue light exposure 1 to 2 hours before bed. Caffeine, excessive caffeines and stimulants, not good. But if you do the things that balance your blood sugar, and I've talked about this on this podcast, from, things that naturally boost GLP-1 production, you eat those balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and fiber in each meal, and you eat regularly, you're going to really look after your adrenal glands anyway. And there's one more thing that I do that I really love: incorporating adaptogens, okay? So adaptogenic herbs can balance out the stress hormones, and they're fantastic. So ashwagandha reduces stress and balances cortisol levels, really good. Holy basil and licorice root helps maintain cortisol levels too. And licorice root is really easy to get in a tea, so it's really beautiful. And of course, being a personal trainer, I'm going to come back and say engaging in physical activity. It's going to help with the adrenals. So yoga, walking, light swimming, any kind of lifts, low intensity, steady state cardio, it's going to really help with those adrenal glands and help them to recover if they're stressed out. And of course, gut health, probiotics, prebiotics, reducing inflammatory foods like processed foods, sugar, and trans fats, that's really going to help. So there's so much you can do to look after your adrenal glands without going on a trend, drinking a high-calorie mocktail. And I think trends are just dangerous. So you always have to go back to a holistic approach. So looking at your nutrition, looking at your movement, looking at your sleep, looking at what can you do, the little 1%ers that will just really boost your adrenal gland health. And then you've got something that is going to give you so much more longevity than just taking a mocktail once because you saw it on TikTok. It's just like the yoga boobs. It's just like the ballet bodies. These are trends that come and go, but looking after your adrenal glands long term is something that you should be doing all the time. Thank you so much for listening to Bounce Forward. I love having your company, so please DM me on Instagram at tiffhall_xo and let me know what topics you'd love me to cover. Don't forget to rate and review me on your podcast app. Speak soon. Happy days.